Hi everyone, Roberto here for another video review. This time the Nestle Munchies Salted Caramel Fudge Flavour. Yeah, look at that, sweet and salty. Pick me, I'm yummy. Rainforest lines down there as well, yes. Yeah, look, very interesting these ones. Very excited for these Munchies. I think they punch well above the weight normally. But basically, as you can see here, normally regular Munchies are sort of the same as this, really. But I guess the caramel's been flavoured slightly differently here. So it's a sort of, I guess, a sort of square, not quite a square shape, but with a caramel and then a sort of biscuit piece in the middle. Now, I'm assuming in this one, the caramel has just been flavoured, basically salted caramel. So, yeah, it's been salted. Yeah, so it looks very interesting. Very excited for this because I say Munchies, I don't know, they just work. You know what I mean? They just work. They're not really that exciting. They don't really taste exciting when you first have them, but there's something moreish about them. There's just something that works. So yeah, hard one to say, you know. So I wouldn't say they're sort of like my favourite chocolate ever, but they just, as I say, they just work. They just hit the spot. So what have we got here? So let's have a look. What does it say on the back? Milk chocolates with soft salted caramel fudge flavour filling 30% and a crisp biscuit centre 5%. Yeah, milk chocolate contains milk solids, 40% minimum, and vegetable fats in addition to cocoa butter. So I guess it's yeah, soft caramel fudge. So it's not just caramel; it's got like obviously a bit of fudge as well, which I guess it does sort of mention salted caramel fudge flavour. So it's not just the same caramel, presumably, as a regular munchie. It's got Nestle Cocoa Plan Rainforest Alliance on the back. Working with the Rainforest Alliance to support cocoa farmers and their communities. I say commodities. Find out more at ra.org. Got the yeah, calorie information there. So 400 grams, 533 calories, 30 grams of fat, 15.6 of which are saturates. And per 6 pieces, 141 calories, 7.9 grams of fat, 4.1 of which are saturates. Yeah, so there we go. So do pretty much just over the top end of the well, over the middle of the 500 to 550 that most chocolates seem to have per 100 grams. 6 pieces, 1 serving. Got the love to share there with others, with a movie. As a treat. As a treat, I think is the main one. The love with the O's got a love heart in it. 97 gram bag as well, so that's at the bottom. So yeah, so those, that there is pretty much the whole bag, pretty much. 533 calories, slightly less, 3% less than that, but not too bad. Yeah, pretty much spot on, I'd say. First 6 pieces, 141 calories. Yeah, interesting. The date on the bottom. There's much more to say. Quite a lot of air in here, so you can see it's quite, you know, full, but yeah, well, quite full of air. But only sort of about halfway full otherwise. So yeah. All right, well, I think it looks okay. Quite like the golden look to it at the back. Oddly, there's been a few different flavours of Munchies in the past year or two. There's been white chocolate ones. There's been brownie ones. There was, what was the other one? Cookie dough ones, I think it was. There's been quite a few. And a lot of them were okay, but didn't really, I don't think, hit the spot. Really didn't work too well. I'm a bit more optimistic with this one because I think mainly they kind of replaced they didn't, like the cookie dough one, they should have just put cookie dough in the middle. But they didn't. They sort of replaced the outer bit, so they didn't have the caramel in there. So they replaced the caramel with cookie dough and still the biscuit in the centre. And the brownie one, they did a similar thing as well. So they just didn't, so rather than just put a brownie piece in the middle, they had like sort of the brownie sort of flavour around the edge or whatever consistency. And it just, no, just missed the point. Just change the middle. That's the bit you change. You put a cookie dough bit in the middle or a brownie piece in the middle rather than a biscuit. And anyway, yeah, so at least with this one, they have actually done it to an extent the right way around because it is caramel anyway. So this one lends itself to it a bit more than the others. Of course, you know, they have sort of implementing the fudge, but if you go to this one, sort of lends itself better to that approach to it because obviously this bit is normally caramel anyway that they've replaced. So you know, a bit more optimistic about this one basically is just it. So yeah. All right, well I think we should give it an open. So let's do it. Let's give it an open. Okay, let's get these salted caramel fudge flavour munchies from Nestle and open. Yeah, very exciting these ones, very exciting. So let's do it. Yeah, time recording, I've done 810 reviews at least, maybe even more actually, I think. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. In the top right corner, I'll put a link to a place for all my other reviews. Yeah, so after you watch this one, click on that and go check those out as well. Hope you enjoy those too. I've got Munchies playlist up there as well. Wow, there's a very fudgy smell coming from these. Not bad at all. Not bad at all, yeah. People stuck to the bottom. Still one stuck in there. I think it's, there we go, yeah. It melted slightly at some point in that one. So let's have a look. How many have we got in here? So, yeah, okay. So I think, yeah, that's 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 22 I think that is. Per 6 pieces. So 6, 12, 18, 24. So about a quarter of the pack. Seems to add up pretty much, yeah. Okay. Just because the portions were per 6 pieces as a portion. Yeah, so per 6 pieces is, yeah, pretty much just sort of over a quarter, I guess. There we go. If you times 141 by 4, you get slightly more than 533 calories, basically. But yeah, smell very nice. These, I have to say, do smell very interesting. Yeah. Let's, where's my, oh, there it is. Yes. So let's give them a bit of a measure. So I'll tell you what, I'll show you what they look like first. So they've got this sort of funny design. It's not really a very good design. It's just a typical Munchies design. Yeah, there used to be mint munchies, which were mentolas, or mintolas, or mentolas basically. It's not the same, but we had like a sort of mint fondant centre, and then they became After 8. Well, they're just branded After 8s now, whatever, so like these, but in a pack. But yeah, as I said, they were mentolas, then it was mint munchies, and now they're After 8s. So yeah, the After 8s are not the actual After 8s, which are these thin, chocolate covered mint fondant centre type affairs, but but they're branded under those now. There you go. So that's what they look like. Okay, let's give it a bit of a measure. I'll say quite a strong fudge smell coming from these. It's sort of, if it's a, not quite burnt caramels type smell, but something like that. About 1.15 centimetres in height. 1.14 it went down to. That could have been because it's been squished a bit with time. Then yeah, the width at the bottom. Oh, yeah, almost 2 centimetres there, 1.97. The width at the top, 1.67. Not quite at the top there, as you can see, but near enough. Well, let's give it a bit of a chop then. See what's going on. Well, so there you go. So you can see clearly, very much not a liquid centre there. So if the camera will need time to adjust. Yes, there you go. So apologies for my thing having a bit chocolatey. But you can see there, yeah. So clear sort of a biscuit sphere of biscuit there, and yeah, the fudge surrounding it. It's off-centered, of course, and then the chocolate surrounded that as well. So it's not a liquid caramel by any means. It's very much a solid centre. Doesn't really look anything like it does on the front of the packet, does it? I mean, it really doesn't. There's no golden. I mean, it's trying to make it out to be really gold and things like that. It really doesn't look gold at all. It looks a bit, yeah, I don't know. Really doesn't, and the biscuit's not golden at all either. So it's not really, doesn't look anything like what it does on the pack at all. It doesn't look caramelly, or it's a very rubbish fudge look as well. Fudge is usually quite brown as well, like it is on there. Yeah, melting on my fingers there, pushing up a bit. Alright, so yeah, a bit disappointing there, but does it taste nice? So, well, we should find out. Let's give it a taste. Let's do it. Okay, let's give these salted caramel fudge flavour munchies a taste from Nestle. The pack does have a top to it that's come off a bit. Which side does it go? So there you go. So it's quite a bit taller than that normally, but there we are. Yeah, so got one a few we've opened earlier. That's what it looks like on the inside as well. So nothing like the front, you see there at all. Nothing like as golden or anything like that. Yeah, clearly not runny either in the centre. Very much a solid. I've tried picking away at it there. A sort of knife, if I pick it up, it's basically a solid, Yeah, alright, so a bit disappointed from the looks of it, but what's it taste like? Let's find out. Let's give it a taste. Not bad. So I think I'm going to need to have another one. More fudgy than salted caramel, like I think you'd say. I guess it does say it's salted caramel fudge flavour, so This is a bit of an odd one. It's just salted fudge flavour, really. I don't. Fudge is fudge. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not. I mean, it's related to caramel insofar as it's a similar-ish product, but I don't know, really. It's just salted fudge flavour. You know, it's not really salted caramel fudge flavour. It's fudge. You know, that basically sort of has a caramelly type taste anyway, but obviously will be salted in this case. I can't really taste much of a salt flavour at all. Or salt taste. Let's crunch on the biscuit. I think it would have worked really well if it was just the regular Munchies, but salted caramel. So it wasn't fudge flavour, it was just salted caramel. So it just had the same ones, but you know, instead of caramel salted, I think that would have been the way to go. I guess they've tried to make it slightly different than normal, but yeah, and as I was saying in the preamble earlier, the ones they did, the other limited editions, or editions they did, not the limited, the cookie dough one and the brownie one, basically, rather than change the middle for the biscuit to make it brownie or cookie dough, which is the obvious thing to do, you change the camera on the outside and it just didn't work as well. Because the camel's really the main part of Munchies, I think, or it's the part that just makes it work really. Now, of course, if you just add in a cookie dough flavour or a brownie flavour, clearly you change the biscuit, you know, because that's the bit that, you know, basically is the same sort of thing. This one, they've kind of, well, you'd think they would have done it the right way, but what they did was, because obviously the caramel's around the edge of the biscuit, and you think, well, this one's going to be salted caramel sort of flavour fudge, so it kind of lends itself to replacing that part. But the problem with it is that it's still essentially the same thing. It's still a solid thing. It's not a liquid. So they could have just replaced the biscuit again and still kept the caramel around the edge. So you would have had that caramel hit and then the sort of fudge consistency in the middle. And I guess it's not quite the same in this case because it's perhaps too much of a caramel type affair going on. But I still think it would have worked better than this. Because I don't know, just don't think you're really getting much of anything here. I mean, it swings and roundabouts, of course. I think, you know, in theory, this one at least should work. I think in practice, it's okay. Yeah. It's just got a sort of slight fudgy taste to it. It's slightly salty, I guess. It's slightly salty, but it's not really getting much of a salted caramel flavour at all. Just getting a bit sort of a sort of fudge flavour that's, or fudge consistency really, not really flavour. Just getting a bit of a fudge consistency really. It's not that sweet, so you know, doesn't mean it's salty though. They're okay, these. The thing again, I still think they're just one that doesn't quite work as well as the regular one. I think that's the problem with all these Munchie flavours. They just don't quite nail them properly. I think this one, I think I can accept this probably was the right idea to not change the biscuit in this case, but to change the caramel for it. I think that's probably fair enough. I think the fact that it's not runny though means you could have changed the biscuit, but I think yeah, I think it's fair enough. I think the biscuit, you know, it still won't be crunchy like the biscuit, and I think it's the, you know, if you're going to replace part of it to put salted caramel fudge in it, I think the caramel is obviously, or salted caramel fudge flavour anyway. I think that's bits obviously the part to do. I think I agree with that. I can see why they did it. But the other ones, as I say, that you know, the cookie dough one and the brownie one, they were right. They should have replaced the biscuit basically. But I think this one they've done that right. So I think that's definitely an improvement. They've definitely, well, I say it's an improvement. They've done the same thing basically, but in this case, it just happens to be the right decision. But I think they would have done it anyway, even if it was the wrong one, because they've done it previously. You know, the other ones anyway. So I think that was why they did it. You know, so yeah, if they'd done it the other way around in the other ones, they would have done it in this way around, the wrong way around with this one as well, basically, or the other way around. So we put the fudge as the biscuit rather than, you know. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, hopefully. Yeah, but this one, as I say, but I just think the flavour's not that great. You know, it's just not that interesting. It's okay. It's just not that salty. It's just not that really salty taste. It's just, it kind of is and it isn't. It's just more not really that sweet, basically, rather than being salty. It's just not that sweet. And it's got a bit of a soft texture to it, a bit like sort of fudge. but it's not sweet, as I say, like most normal fudge you get in shops. I mean, obviously not cabbage fudge and things, but yeah, yeah. So, and it's not chewy or anything like that. It's okay. It's all right, but it's not that impressive. I think I would just prefer regular Munchies basically. But I think this is definitely a better implementation than the cookie dough and the brownie ones, which I just think they just didn't implement them right. As I say, it should have been the biscuit they replaced with the cookie dough and the brownie pieces, not the caramel. I think that was just the wrong decision. But this one at least has been done right, but it's just not that exciting. The fudge, the salted caramel fudge centre that surrounds the biscuit just doesn't really taste of that much. It just tastes a bit of, as I say, a slightly salty maybe, or at least a non-sweet flavour. I can't really describe it any better than that. It's not that sweet and it's not really that caramelly or fudgy. It's just slightly, it's just got the same texture as fudge almost, you know, that sort of soft, that softness to it. So yeah, so I think it's probably a 3 out of 5. I think it's just okay. It's nice. The chocolate, I didn't really mention the chocolate. Chocolate's just, it's there really. You can't taste it too much. Nestle milk chocolate's not the best. In this case, it just works with the rest of it. You know, it accompanies it quite well. It doesn't really stand out or be detrimental to it in any way. It's just there. I think overall they're okay, but I think regular Munchies is just better because of the caramel. It's just nicer and more enjoyable to have. And I think that's the case with pretty much most of the Munchies in all these limited editions and things. And even the white chocolate one, I just don't think worked that well. I just don't think the white chocolate worked that well with the caramel either. So I just think regular Munchies just seem to be the best, really. But I think the white chocolate ones are interesting. And the other ones, they're still nice, but the other ones, as I say, just don't quite work. And this one, these work better. These work better. But yeah, it's just, but it's still, you know, not saying much. It's still quite average. So 3 out of 5. Disappointing all the same. I was expecting more. Just because it just release it as a salted caramel flavour one, just with caramel, the same as the regular one, but salted, you know, and then you would have a winner basically. Simple, really. It's really simple to do. I don't know why they've not done it. So 3 out of 5. I think it would have been definitely a 4 at least if it was just the regular one, but with salted caramel. But they haven't done that for some reason, even though you'd think it'd be easier. So I don't know. 3 out of 5. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the YouTube member program. Great way to support the channel. Truly is. Link for that's in the description. Get something back as well, depending on what tier you pick. Check out the Discord server as well. Link for that's also in the description. Great way to keep in touch with myself and the rest of the community. Yeah, leave a comment or free. Subscribe to the channel, like the video if you haven't done so already. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching guys. Take care. Bye for now. See ya.